Hey guys, I just wanted to do a very quick video. I got my very first Notiq planner, and I have been seeing photos of these Notiqs and I think they look really nice. I'm not usually a fan of PVC based like leather look planners. I sometimes get them, but I often find that I just prefer the leather feel and the look of the leather ones, but I was really drawn to their croco print. It just looked beautiful, and this color, which is called Bone, is... Hello, darling. Hello, darling. Can you see? Okay, you stay there. You stay there in the room. Mummy's going to finish shooting this video, okay? All right, so this color, which is Bone, is like probably my favorite of the brighter colors. So I love blacks. Hello, my darling. Come in, my love. Mwah. So I love this, but for lighter colors, I just love this Bone color. It's beautiful. It reminds me of like a very old planner that was once a Giglio color that they've never really come out with since for a really long time. This is Mummy's planner. Remember when Mummy gave you a planner? Here, you have this one. You have that one. And I've just like never really seen this kind of shade of like it's like a bone. It's like a bone color, you know. I haven't seen that anywhere, and so I was kind of obsessed with this color, and I thought I'd try them out because they do look really beautiful. And so it arrived today, and I do really love it, and I wanted to do a quick video comparing it to the Giglio. I'm comparing it to the Giglio because I'm shocked to say the price wasn't that different because I'm in Australia. Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. And I had to pay $300 for this. So it was $200. It was $220 once the exchange rate conversion. Oh, is the pen stuck? Is it, darling? I'll take it out for you. Once we did the exchange rate conversion, and then the only option was to pay $100 for shipping. So often companies have like express shipping close to $100, and then often they will give you like a longer term, like $30 kind of shipping option. That just wasn't an option. And so overall, I would have paid about $330 for this. So now for me, I don't mind paying the money, and like the fact that it's not leather is not going to be the thing that makes me think that's not worth it. I don't really mind what it's made out of, as long as it looks really good, it feels really good, it is sturdy, and it lasts, and it doesn't wear and tear like way sooner than it should for the price I've paid. So it doesn't bother me that it's ultimately made of plastic versus leather, as long as it wears well, looks great, feels great. So, however, what do I think on that basis? I think it looks great. To me, this does feel kind of more on the plasticky side. This is a good comparison because it's also a croco print, but to me, this does feel like leather. So I think there's not much in it. Like if you gave this to someone who didn't handle leather planners all day long for years on end, they might think it's leather. You know, I can see someone being sort of fooled into thinking that this feels like leather. So what I'm saying is the feel, the texture, the tactile experience of touching this planner, it's not poor, but there's something about it. It kind of does feel more on the Kiki. Back when Kiki K did maybe some better stuff, including some leather croco print stuff. I've got a black croco print Kiki K, which is very similar to this. It's almost identical in terms of the actual leather look plastic material that it's made out of. But a Kiki K, would have cost me $80 instead of like $300. So what I'm saying is the only thing that would stop me from buying another Notiq is the cost. I think in Australia, to pay for this, it's way too much. I cannot, even though I like it, I don't like it enough for me to think that that's worth it. In America, I guess you'd be paying around $100 plus shipping or including shipping. So, it might be much more worth it for you. It's kind of just whether it's worth it, totally personal. decision depending on your funds, what you've got to spend, the available alternatives in a similar price range, and how much you like the specific thing. So unfortunately, I would say the available alternative becomes Gillio, because this becomes so expensive that, you know, Gillio starts to become like a competitor in that price range. So, and what I really love about this is the color, but it's not quite enough to overcome, I think, the price. Now, some more comments. This is a personal wide and this is a personal wide. Gillio personal wide, Notiq personal wide. I had to double check the order to make sure I hadn't ordered a B6, and it is in fact a personal wide. I think it's huge. And if you know anything about my channel, you know that I like to wax on about how oversized certain things are. Usually I'm complaining that the Gillio is oversized. This is huge, I think, for a personal wide planner. I'm just going to grab my Kiki K so we can compare it. This is the Kiki K. Even like the Kiki K is like a lot smaller than this. It's just a thing to note, I think. You know, I don't love that about it. I'd be so much happier if this was the same size as this. The other thing is there's a little like, there's just something, there's a little dent in it. So again, I think this goes to the quality issue. If this looked perfect, right? And I think the stitching is great. Honestly, most things about it are great, but there's just like a bit of denting, a little bit of, you know, just a little bit of imperfection there. I would just say that at the $300 range, if I was going to buy that again, it would have to, at a minimum, be absolutely perfect without that stuff going on. But it's not a big deal. It only becomes a factor when you take into account the price. The other thing before I open it up is I love the color. It's bone croc. I love it. It's stunning. And if the price wasn't an issue, I would be buying this in everything they have because it's gorgeous. Like, I love it. And it is nice quality enough to for me to want to use it. But I'm going to say it kind of just gets there. It just meets the bar. I once had this dude that I was considering dating who told me that there was a looks bar and I just made it. That kind of soured the relationship. But that is what I would say about the Notiq, that for me, the quality bar, it kind of just makes it for me to be happy to use it. But it's like factors like this and this that kind of like impair. Now, the other thing about it is it's got this gold hardware thing. I'm a bit concerned about that because in my experience, this sort of gold hardware will tarnish and it's going to just ruin, like the PVC will hold and it will continue to look good long after this starts to tarnish, I believe. Like, they may surprise me. I'm going to be interested to see. But I think that's one of the problems with putting gold hardware on. Yes, it kind of looks really nice, but how long is that going to last before it starts to look bad? My darling, come here, Bubba. You want your cheese? You put your cheese here and you have your cheese while Mummy talks. Okay, so let's open it up. It is huge, but I love the layout. I love these card slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very spacious card slots. Love this heart-shaped product. Love this little gold accenting. Love the gold rings. The gold rings seem to have, like, these look like they might be removable if the rings gap because they've got the screw there, but I don't know. I haven't tried. I'm not going to try, but that's a positive sign. They're big rings. They look like 30mm rings to me, but I don't know for sure. And then on the other side, I love the layout. I think the layout is so good. 1, 2, 3, you know, 3 pockets, secretarial flap, long flap here, no back pocket. Yes, my darling. Huge, what is it, Bubby? I love you. Huge pen loop here. Not elasticated, but huge. Come here, bunny. I love you. I love you. So, you know, rounded corners. It all looks beautiful. Do you like it, Kiki? Do you like this? Do you like it? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay, very good. Do you like that? Okay, good girl. Bone. Yeah, it's called bone. It's a bone color. It's beautiful. I do think it's huge, you know. I'm sure B6 would fit very comfortably, but I reckon even B6 would be like, this would be huge for B6. I was actually thinking about getting a B6 and I'm so glad that I didn't, because this is big enough as it is. I think it's beautiful. This is very tight, but it's fine. It would loosen up, I think, nicely as you use it. You know, often with slip pockets like this, you don't tend to use them that much other than decoratively, because they're not the most convenient, but it's great that it has the secretarial flat pocket. I'm actually going to use this for a few months. That's the plan, we'll see. And just to see how it wears over time. I'm just interested to see how it's going to wear. And so like I said, if I was paying $100 for this, I would be really considering getting this in one more planner, in the B6 book holder style, just that one. I probably wouldn't get the whole range. I feel like at $100 it would still maybe not be worth it for me to go get like a whole bunch of stuff, but I'd want to get it in one more thing. But at 300 plus, it's a no. So that's really my only qualm about this is the price. I think it's beautiful. The quality is not perfect, but it's also not like see there, like it kind of, the leather folds a little bit. And I don't think there should be any need for that, given that there's no back pocket. You know, maybe it's quite thick, and that makes it difficult to sew, which could be one of the explanations. I probably want, like, this is an interesting pen loop. I've got a feeling a lot of my, can I borrow the pen, Kiki, darling? Can I have the pen? Can Mummy have the pen? Yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, darling. So I imagine that a lot of my pens would be too loose, but luckily, like, yeah, even though, like, the whole, it's just going to go through. So I'd probably prefer a smaller pen loop that's elasticated for myself. That's really the only qualms. If this is a removable rings, that's perfect. I don't know if it is, but it kind of looks like it might be. That would be perfect. Love the gold hardware. Love the design. This color is stunning. It's everything I hoped it would be. I'm just going to compare it to the Gilio Grey Croco Eye. I don't know if that brings out the color more. And I'll just bring a white, this is a Van der Speck Cream Croco. I just want to know if that brings out the color. I think this brings out the color nicely. It's beautiful. But yeah, and I'm not going to blame, like, I think a company should price their products exactly how they want to. But I bet you these would be way more popular if they were priced like a little bit lower. Would that affect their ability to actually stay in business? I don't know. But yeah, interesting. So yeah, I just really like the color. I love the color. Love the design. Honestly, PVC as a material doesn't bother me because it can often be really light. But the problem is, because this is so big, it kind of offsets how light it could otherwise be. Yeah. All right, those are my thoughts, my darling. Do you want to say bye-bye, everybody? Bye-bye? Say it. Cool. Okay, bye-bye. All right, bye-bye, everybody.